are accusing Texas Republicans of gerrymandering. And instead of staying and fighting, making the argument, convincing voters that their argument is right, they flee. And not only do they flee and leave the state, they go to Illinois, the most gerrymandered state in the country, for refuge, right?
It sounds right, just like it's right up JB Pritzker's sleeve, isn't it?
Exactly. And JB that night goes on Stephen Colbert. I'll play the clip in a little bit. And even Colbert accuses the governor of Illinois of you've got a pretty screwed up state. This is Dillan Vancil here. Stephen Colbert that night, he outlines Illinois Congressional District 17, how gerrymandered and messed up it is. Dillan Vancil is running for Congress in that district. Dillan, thanks for joining me today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Jason. It is wild what's happening with the gerrymandering at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, so this district 17. Actually, let me play this clip really quick from Stephen Colbert. I just want to show this really quick.
If you're considering doing a little more redrawing in Illinois, you already have some crazy districts in Illinois. Take a look at this. Look at 17 here. It does that. Then it comes up here and it sneaks around there and goes all the way up here and then goes right over there like that. And look at this one, kind of goes whoop up there. It's like the stinger on a scorpion down here. Is this common for all states to do?
Well, we handed it over to a kindergarten class and let them decide.
Okay, and that's the
right. So he accuses fellow Democrats in Illinois who control this state, have controlled the state for so long, of being kindergartners to draw that map. You are on one end of the district, and that's what. Tell me how many counties. Give me a lay of the land here for the.
Yeah. So there's 14 counties in the district. There's some that are partial. There's some that are full. You drive from Bloomington, Illinois, all the way up to Rockford. You're not in the district for 3/4 of your drive. It is insanity.
Yeah, I saw this posted the other day. This is a map from the beginning of Illinois, all the districts, congressional districts through the time. Something happened way down here. I'm going to post this in the article down below. Something happened back in 2003, because these are pretty contiguous, these population centers, if you will. Look at Chicago's obviously growing in size. 2003, something happens. 2013, it's crazier. And then boom, this is what he's talking about.
Well,
go ahead.
It is. It's insane. And it ensures that the Democrats stay in power, or gives them that better odd or better chance. But I mean, Illinois has lost population at an insane rate over the last couple decades. We used to have 24 or 25 congressional seats, House seats, and now we're down to 17.
That's right. And it's going to get worse. I heard the other day, Trump, did they say that he wants to do another census now and to make sure we only include citizens?
Absolutely. And that's what, I've seen a report the other day that showed Illinois has lost population.
Oh, yeah.
But we've gained almost the same in illegal immigrants that have fled to Illinois.
That is exactly the reason they left the floodgates open. They talk about, replacement theory and all this kind of stuff. But that's the replacement they're talking about. It's, these blue states who are losing people, replacing them with illegals to count them in the census. And Democrats are in big trouble.
Yeah, it's a mess.
So 17. I mean, you're when I went to your launch party, Galesburg, right? That's where that was, right?
Yep, Knox County and Galesburg.
Is that where you're from? Is that your home base?
I'm just west of there. You got Galesburg and then Monmouth and Warren County. I'm just outside of Monmouth to the west.
Right. So way down here. I mean, this is 3 hours away down here.
Yeah, it's a drive. I was just up in your neck of the woods yesterday, and it is a drive. And you get up into Rock Island County and cut over from there. I mean, it's hit or miss if you're in the district.
And I saw you posted this morning, which I don't have here. I'll post it in the article down below, is a map of Iowa. And their districts, tell me about them. I mean, did you talk to folks over there, or is it, by county? How are they doing that?
Yeah, I haven't gone into depth with it, but I had met with Taylor Collins, who's a state representative over in Iowa, and not only their maps and how they actually make sense, but they also, as a rep in Iowa, you make $26,000 a year. It's a part-time job.
Mm-hmm.
Now in Illinois, you have these insanely gerrymandered maps, but then you also get paid $100,000 a year to sit in those maps, sit in those districts that are gerrymandered. I mean, in Illinois, typically, like Trump Kamala, it went 46 Trump, 54 Kamala, and it does that. The governor race with Bailey and JB was the same way. It was about 46-54.
Mm-hmm.
So just about half of the population in Illinois is Republican. But in the state legislature, we hold 14% of the seats.
That's right.
On the congressional level, we only hold 3 out of the 17 seats.
That's right. And I saw another report. They were talking about there's several other states that have the same issue. Was it Massachusetts or something? They have no Republican congressman, but yet Trump got 40% of the vote. So there's like no representation for Republicans at the congressional level.
Yeah, and it makes no sense to me that these Texas Democrats, out of all states to flee to, whining about gerrymandering, you come to Illinois.
Right.
And of course, with JB's aspirations to run for president, it's no shocker. He's going to grab onto any national headline that he can get a hold of between now and 2028.
Yeah, wasn't it like the day of they leave, they go to Illinois, and JB's on Colbert that night? I mean, give me a break.
Yeah.
I hope he runs, and I hope that he and Gavin Newsom of California, run together, because the rest of the country, for them to accept they want to make the rest of the country like Illinois or like California, they're going to get rejected wholeheartedly, full stop.
Absolutely. And California is just about in the same boat. Yeah. It's not really that far Democrat. It's, I think it's pretty close to that 55-45 or 40-60, but still majority of it's held by Democrats.
Yeah.
I hope JB does run for president in 28. I mean, if you look at their bench, you've got AOC, JB, Newsom, Crockett. I mean,
yeah,
those front runners on the Democratic side. I mean, boy, I hope they run, because it's going to do nothing but help us Republicans here as we go.
Absolutely. So as you travel the state, how many miles you put on your car already?
So we're a little over 23,000 miles in so far. Had my launch party there that you attended in Galesburg in Knox County. Had about 300 people in attendance. And since February, we've put on over 23,000 miles campaigning. I am the only one running on the Republican ticket for the 17th, and we've raised about $120,000 so far.
That's excellent. So when I first heard, and it was Mark Rice who sent me a text, and he's running for Congress, and is he in 8th or something like that?
I believe
But he sent me a text and says, "Hey, I found your candidate," and so I replied back, and it was the day before your launch party. So I'm like, I'm going to go down and check this guy out, 3 hours away or whatever it was. And I was really impressed. I mean, this is a year and a half from the general election. This is a little over a year from just the primary that you announced. So that was brilliant on your part. I went to that event. It was a beautiful event, beautiful venue, a lot of energy, a lot of young people, and a lot of community support. Tell me about what's your coffee company. Talk about all of your community involvement.
Yeah, so we had a phenomenal event that night. We had state legislators there, senators, House reps that had never seen a launch party like that before. And to me, that means something. My background is coffee shops. I actually just spent the whole morning today at our 7th location in Chillicothe, Illinois. We have locations in Iowa and Illinois. A few of them are in the 17th district. With that, I was lucky enough to start a business and jump on my local school board in 2021 as this crazy COVID pandemic kicked off.
Wow.
It's been an uphill climb from there, but that's really, what got me involved with politics. I was tired of what they were doing to our kids and to our businesses, trying to shut them down. Decided to get involved.
So tell me, you said you have coffee shops in Iowa and Illinois, a couple over there. Tell me the difference, regulations, state. I mean, I know you're running for Congress, which is a federal issue, but the differences in the states.
Well, we can't expand fast enough into Iowa. We've put a focus on Illinois. Just this is my home state, and I hope there is some light at the end of the tunnel. But I definitely, after having businesses in both states, I can definitely understand why people don't want to invest in Illinois. I mean, all the red tape, the regulation, it's not favorable for businesses at all. We have to pay the $15 an hour minimum wage, which, I give and take a little bit on that. But we also have to pay paid time off for all of our employees, whether they work 4 hours a week or they work 30, whatever it is. There's all these different things that just put small business behind. I mean, that paid time off just for my Illinois shops cost my company $30,000 right off the get-go.
Wow.
I mean, it's not a sustainable path that we're on.
I thought we had a free market system.
In Iowa.
Last week, I was at the Rock Island GOP office, met with a few people, and there was a gentleman I think I'd heard he would go across the river into Iowa to get gas. He said he'd get, I don't know if it's Costco or somewhere, but and the story that someone told me was if there's a long line waiting for gas, he'd go up to every car that had an Illinois license plate that went across the river and talk to them about, make sure you're Republican, make sure you're voting right, because the reason why you're here is because we're doing the wrong things in Illinois.
Absolutely. And I'm one of those people. I live not that far from the border. The sales tax rate's about 3 to 4% cheaper than it is here in Illinois. So we'll go over there and grab our groceries, and then we'll fill up our vehicles for 50, 60 cents a gallon cheaper.
A gallon.
A gallon.
Wow. So let's talk about this district. You've been 20 some thousand miles. You just the other day, you had a wheel fall off. I mean, literally.
Yeah. I was on my way to Rock Island to an event with Senator Neil Anderson, Rep. Dan Swanson, and others. And I got, I don't know, half hour up the road, and my ball joint on my 3/4 ton pickup decided to explode. I blame it on these rough Illinois roads that we can't afford to maintain.
Goodness gracious! Don't get me started on the roads. I lived down in Florida for 22 years and came back up here. And this is, if I was the mayor around here, I'd be embarrassed every day, like driving around like I'm sorry. But anyway, so you're driving around, you're going to all these different counties. It's gerrymandered. It's not like there's some cities and there's some rural. And one thing I appreciated about an event you were at a few weeks ago, you spent more time in Q&A than all your wonderful ideas. We always see this, candidates have all these wonderful ideas, but you spent some time listening to people. What has been some of the feedback, and how has it differed around different counties?
Well, and that's what it is. My background, entrepreneur, family man, I've been involved with school board, all that. It doesn't mean anything. I want to know how to best represent the people in the 17th. And there is no better way to do that than to actually get their feedback on what they want to see done.
Right.
The big problems now are small business and our taxes here in Illinois. It is on the federal level, the Department of Education, and how $280 billion budget every year, only 14 to 18% of that gets to our local school districts. I mean, people are just fed up with the public school system.
Yeah. Wow. So I don't, what kind of congressman would you be?
Physically conservative, common sense, and America first.
Yeah. Because I've, and you don't have to vent your frustration like I do, but I'm pretty frustrated with Congress, with quote unquote party leadership. Every time Doge uncovered some egregious fraud or some spending that's just like, I believe Speaker Johnson and the Republicans should have been right behind him. 1-page bill, get that thing shut down, cut that cost. Let's move on to the next. But they're operating like the days of old. How would you address all of that? I know you'd be one congressman out of 435, but give me a sense of where you are for that.
I don't, the big, beautiful bill, it had some great things in it. But I'll be honest, I don't think it cut enough. and you've got Congress, you've got Trump doing something every single day to put America first and bring back common sense. And we have Congress that just wants to move at what it seems like at times is a snail's pace to try to keep up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that big, beautiful bill, like I said, it is great. And there's several things that are help stimulate our economy. But we are $36 trillion in debt.
Yeah.
We're going to have to do some deep cuts.
Yeah, I mean, we've done this interview for 15 minutes. I think it's up to 37 trillion now is where the but the that to me that's a big issue. I think that he has the approach of we're going to grow our way out of it, and it's like if you're stimulating it with the right things, but if you also cut spending at the same time, then we would actually be able to reduce it. But any thoughts on that?
And that's just it. There has to be cuts. And, you know, I don't know what other president in my lifetime has been able to secure $12 trillion worth of American investment. Mm-hmm. I think there is going to be a boom in this country. But I also, you know, from the COVID days, we decided to raise the deficit there to whatever it was, some astronomical number, and we just keep it at the same.
Right.
Nobody can ever seem to get the finances under control. My business can't operate like that. I mean, it'd be nice if it could, but it definitely cannot.
Right. My family can't operate like that. Yeah, this idea of this stimulus, we could argue whether that was a good idea or not. It's supposed to be temporary. Instead, that's the new normal.
Yeah. And it has to come to an end.
Tell me about, I mean, who's currently there is Eric Sorensen. And as you travel the district, and I'm sure you've done a deep dive on Sorensen and his votes and his rhetoric and his conduct. Do you think it really represents the people of Illinois, or do you just think that they're just not aware of his antics?
I don't think they're aware of what Eric Sorensen really represents. He is a Nancy Pelosi puppet, 100% radical left. He voted against, I believe it was HB 28, which was the bill that kept boys out of girls' sports and locker rooms. Voted against that. He just voted against the big, beautiful bill, which gave all of us, gave the country some of the biggest tax cuts in a long time or ever. Right. It's just he is not the representative we need for the 17th. And, we're going to do everything we can to switch that next November.
Do you think, I mean, because just what you said, the boys and girls bathrooms, I mean, just that issue, when you travel the state, and we're looking at a lot of area in Illinois, do people understand that? I mean, is that a 70, 80, 90% issue for people, and that's their representative?
I mean, it's an 80-20, 90-10 issue. I mean, it's up there. Yeah. And being on the school board, I mean, luckily we haven't dealt with a lot of this at my school district, but I have some neighboring districts that, you know, there was 2 summers ago when bringing litter boxes into the school was a national headline. In my 5 years on the school board, that was the most calls I had ever received. Are you guys really going to put litter boxes in the school? Yeah. Absolutely not. We will not do something like that.
I remember a handful of years ago, talking to a state senator, and they were talking about how they put in the budget in Illinois, what was it, $20 million requiring every K through 12 school to put tampon machines in boys' bathrooms. We had Tampon Tim running for vice president. We have Tampon JB Pritzker here in Illinois. It's so delusional to think that that is a normal thing.
It is. I can't believe it's this whole trans movement, you know, mutilating our children under the age of 18. Just, I mean, where did that come from? It makes no sense to me. I don't let my 7 and 9-year-old boys pick their bedtime, let alone what gender they want to be for the day.
That is a great way to put it. I mean, it's a spiritual battle. I mean, this is good and evil. And there's so many things that have happened over the last 50, 60, 70 years that are flying right in the face of God. And I think that, I read the book, and at the end he wins. So.
Absolutely. And I think people are starting to see just this radical direction that the Democrats are taking. I mean, here in Illinois, we're the highest tax state in the country now. Yeah. Our property taxes continue to climb. Our sales tax rates continue to climb. It is just not a favorable place to live. Yeah. And I own businesses here. My family's from here. We're going to continue to fight to change it. And I think right now is the best time or best cycle opportunity to do what we're doing.
Yeah. For those of you listening, You know, a lot of people outside the state of Illinois, they kind of dismiss Illinois, like, oh, there's no hope, blah, blah, blah. But here's the thing. I think this is why I'm getting involved in this election and this particular race, is because we have an opportunity and a responsibility to flip that seat. Because I don't believe Sorensen represents the people here, but also congressionally, federally, we've got to flip that seat. We have that opportunity. It is that close and that important. So if you guys are outside of the state of Illinois, Vancil for Congress.com, get to know Dillan, tell people about Dillan, support his campaign.
Absolutely. And I appreciate it. We're going to continue to pound the pavement every day, meet as many people as we can throughout the 17th. It is an extremely gerrymandered district, but they didn't do quite good enough. This is a 52-48. We're going to get back. If all the people, or a majority of the people that went out and voted for Trump in this last presidential cycle come out and vote, we win.
Yeah, absolutely. I was looking at I think AP or somebody had this article, and it was an interactive map, and it showed every map in Illinois and the direction. Did they head to the right or to the left? And 90% of these counties were heading to the right in support of Trump. So we just have an opportunity to capitalize, just like you said, the Trump voters.
Absolutely. Illinois is trending right. Hopefully, it's petition time now. We're out circulating petitions. But I really hope that we have a strong governor candidate come out.
Right.
We need somebody that can go jab for jab with JB and put him in his place. People are fed up and they're ready for something different, but we need that strong Republican leader here in Illinois to step up and run for governor.
Amen. Well, thank you, Dillan, for stepping up, especially so early. Very impressive campaign so far. A year and a half out, you're so far ahead, 20-some thousand miles, raised a lot of money, and I'll see you on the campaign trail.
I appreciate it, Jason, and thanks for having me on.
You bet. Sponsored by Hidden History Laboratories, uncovering hidden truths that shaped nations. Learn more at hiddenhistorylabs.com.